Hey guys, welcome back to Grow Like a CEO. The average CEO reads a book a week. I'm going to get you that much closer by breaking down my own library of marketing, business, and productivity books and give you the action items you need to execute on them to implement those strategies without keeping your nose in a book for hours. All right, now, this is episode 3 of Blue Ocean Strategy. We're going to call this Reaching Beyond Existing Demand. Now, creating a blue ocean has as much to do with defining your niche as it does reaching outside of it. Where most businesses tend to trip up is they end up niching themselves down so far that it doesn't give them the opportunity to really grow. So to guard against that, right, you're going to have to look to somebody you wouldn't necessarily expect to provide for your business. You're going to have to look at non-customers. So think about it. Would you rather spend all of your time and money trying to convert customers from your competitors, people already in the market? Or would you rather search for that bigger group of people out there and bring them into the new value that you've designed for your business, your brand new blue ocean? So to accomplish this, you're actually going to have to break your non-customers down into 3 different groups. And we're going to define those here for you. All right, so your first tier of customer here, we're going to call these your soon-to-be customers. All right, these are the ones that float right around the edge of your brand or the edge of your market. They rarely buy, all right, just buy on occasion, and typically they're willing to jump ship on you. They're willing to switch brands back and forth. They don't hold a lot of affinity. They're really looking for the best deal that they can get. All right, so they jump ship a lot. They jump to different brands. So it's your job to offer them a change of value, to somehow turn them into a fan of your brand in particular. All right, now what this takes, however, is going to depend on what you can offer, what your blue ocean is all about, what your value offer is all about. All right, so be prepared to nurture these types of users. All right, for you folks in the software as a service industry, make sure your onboarding is complete and it's a happy process. Don't just leave them after the sale. Use your email marketing to your advantage. Offer them some sort of extra value in the purchase that they did not expect to get. All right, and after that happens, solicit some feedback from them. Use this as a chance to create a feedback loop. It's going to help to build your business down the line. All right, so your goal here is to search for commonalities between these people because there's going to be a bunch of them. There's going to be quite a few of these folks that don't necessarily have that brand affinity that switch back and forth. So your job is to find commonalities between these people. What is it that causes them to jump back and forth? Look for what links all those groups together, or at least the biggest things that link them together, and start tying that into your value offering because it's your job to really offer them something extra. Because right now, nobody has any brand affinity, or no brand has got some affinity from them. So use this as a chance to build that in to your entire value offering. So for your action items here, I've got 2 things for you. All right, so 1, identify the type of users that bounce from brand to brand. Who are they? And then figure out what it is they're looking for. Like I said, what is it that causes that bounce? What is it that causes them to choose A over B over C and to move back and forth? Figure out how you can create some loyalty in there. That's going to be your best bet for using these first tier or soon to be customers. Now let's look at your second tier customers. These are going to be a little bit more further removed from your brand, from your market. All right, these are usually the people that do not use your product at all or can't afford it. All right, their needs in whatever the department is, whatever you serve, all right, are either managed by something else or they're completely ignored. Now, as a marketer, that completely ignored should be a huge red flag for you. That's a massive opportunity to create some value because you've got the ability to either satisfy a huge gap in their lives, something that's missing in their lives, or you can very least upgrade the hell out of it. All right, it's your job to look at these customers who haven't experienced something like your brand before, or it's been out of their reach entirely. Look for these people that, or even if it's just in their mind, have priced themselves out of that market. All right, I like to call these people the duct tape or the Band-Aid crowd because more times than not, because they're looking for another way to fill that need if they're even aware of it, all right, they spend more time trying to fix the short-term solution that they've chosen than they do actually moving on with their lives and getting the value out of it that they already planned. All right, so think about this. These are the people that duct tape over something, that stick a Band-Aid on it instead of actually going after the long-term solution. So that's your goal here, is to be that long-term solution. All right, find the way that you can help them, that you can elevate that status instead of them having to constantly work to put another Band-Aid on, to put another strip of duct tape on. All right, so your 2 action items here. 1, Identify who these people are. What are the common problems that they're consistently trying to fix? What are the common things they're always trying to address that they're taking the discount route of? I don't want to think about the discount route, but what are they constantly putting that strip of duct tape on? And number 2, identify the users who previously priced themselves out of your market. Who are the people that don't think they can afford your product? This is also a massive opportunity here, because if you can provide some way to elevate somebody's status, right? Even if it's just in their mind, elevate their status there, they will reward you with money, with brand affinity, right? They will reward you for that. So identify the duct tape and Band-Aid crowd, right? And link some commonalities between them. What is it that makes them choose this way or the other? Now let's look at your third tier customers here. Last but not least, these are the furthest removed from your brand. More times than not, these are the customers or users that most people assume belong to another market. Now I'm a marketing consultant. For me, the perfect third tier customer is actually a network marketer. Among others, is a network marketer. All right, these are people that are all about the person-to-person contact. They sell a product that doesn't belong to them. All right, and their competition, they're all doing the exact same thing, selling literally the exact same product. So why would I approach a network marketer? Well, ideally, as a third-tier customer, right, they need to find a way to use the tools at their disposal to the best of their ability. So they're all on social media. And 2, they need to find a way to differentiate themselves. And this is my niche, this is my entry into these third-tier customers. All right, so they work in the same space, and it's my job to educate them and elevate their status in that market. So ideally, they belong to an entirely different field, an entirely different market, but these are perfect third-tier customers for me. Now, it's your job to go out and figure out, look across those other markets. Now, if you haven't already, episode 1 of Blue Ocean Strategy will show you how to look across these alternative markets and identify them. Go back if you haven't already, identify those. So your action items here, 1, identify those alternative markets. Figure out how your brand, your product or service fits in with these other spaces. Right? Look for connections, loose connections that you wouldn't necessarily apply. And 2, outline how your brand actually fills those needs, and don't be afraid to look across the entire experience here. So look at the pre-purchase, the purchase, and the post-purchase. Figure out how their lives, how their daily lives, right, how their status changes from A to B to C. If you can outline those, you can build a value offering towards customers that you wouldn't necessarily consider, and that generally wouldn't consider you. This is a huge opportunity to gain lots and lots of information. All right, guys, that closes down episode 3 of Blue Ocean Strategy. So if you are building a business or even just reviving an old one, this is the book for you. This is the one you need to be reading to teach you how to look at your market in a different way and create your own space. That way you're not competing with everybody else that's out there. This is the way you can identify new markets, find new customers, and build a thriving business. So we got one more episode coming out next week. So I will see you guys on Wednesday. If you haven't already, go through and watch these in order. They're getting a little bit shorter as we go on, as I try and hone in this information for you. But all of this is built to give you the tools to actually implement everything that you read here. Instead of spending hours reading this book, I'm going to break this down for you in a handful of minutes so that you can implement this on the fly and get moving. So check out the first 2 videos, breakdown number 3 here, and number 4 to come next week. I'll see y'all there.